I never planned to meet aliens, let alone fix their ship. And I definitely never planned for two alien sisters to look at me, an exhausted human salvage engineer, and calmly decide that my life no longer belonged to me. But the galaxy, I learned, has a strange sense of humor. My name is Aaron Cole. Back on Earth, I was nobody special, just another freelance engineer scraping a living by repairing derelict ships along the fringe. Out here, on the edge of charted space, broken vessels were common, and help was rare. If you could weld, rewire, and coax a dead engine back to life, you survived. That's how I found them. The distress beacon was faint and old, pulsing on a frequency I'd never seen before. Curiosity won over caution. I followed it to a drifting vessel caught in the gravity shadow of a dead moon. The ship didn't look hostile. Sleek, silver-black hull, elegant curves, clearly alien, but damaged. Massive energy scarring along the aft section told me its engine had suffered a catastrophic failure. I docked manually. No response to hails. Inside, the air was breathable but thin. The corridors glowed softly, responding to my movement like the ship was half awake. That's when I heard voices. Two of them. They stepped into the corridor ahead of me. Tall, graceful, with pale blue skin that shimmered faintly under the lights. Their eyes were luminous gold, pupils narrow and sharp. They looked identical except for subtle markings along their temples. Twin sisters, unmistakably. Neither raised a weapon. "You are human," one said, her voice calm but heavy with authority. "Yeah," I replied, keeping my hands visible. "Name's Aaron. Your ship sent a distress signal." The other twin studied me intensely. "Our engine is dead. Our people will not reach us in time." "I might be able to help," I said, "if you let me take a look." They exchanged a glance, silent communication passing between them. Finally, the first twin nodded. "I am Salith. This is my sister, Vera. If you deceive us, you will die." Fair enough. Their engine core was unlike anything I'd ever seen. Biological conduits interwoven with crystalline energy channels. Beautiful, but damaged beyond their understanding. Their species relied on engineers grown and trained within strict biological limits. Improvisation wasn't part of their doctrine. Humans, on the other hand, survived by improvising. It took me 3 days. 3 days of crawling through narrow conduits, rerouting power with jury-rigged tools, stabilizing harmonic feedback with scrap metal and stubbornness. I slept when I passed out, ate ration bars, and worked until my hands bled. The twins watched me the entire time. They didn't interfere. They didn't question my methods. They simply observed, quiet, intense, as if committing every movement to memory. On the 3rd day, I powered up the core. The ship hummed, not violently, not erratically, but smoothly, like a waking giant stretching after a long sleep. Lights brightened. Systems came online. Gravity stabilized. The ship was alive again. I slumped against a bulkhead, exhausted. That should do it. Silence filled the chamber. Then Salith knelt. Vera followed. I nearly had a heart attack. "Whoa. Hey, don't do that," I said, trying to stand. "You don't owe me." "You do not understand," Salith said, her voice reverent. "You restored what our kind could not." Vera stepped closer. "Among our people, such an act creates a binding." My stomach dropped. A binding? They looked at each other, then back at me. "You are ours now," Salith said simply. I laughed, because the alternative was panicking. "That's flattering, but I've got places to be." Vera tilted her head. "No." And that was when I realized something important. They weren't joking. Over the next cycle, I learned the truth. Their species, the Elthari, were not conquerors. They were ancient, disciplined, bound by rigid traditions. Innovation was rare. Those who brought change were revered and claimed. By fixing their ship through human ingenuity, I had unknowingly fulfilled an ancient rite, the catalyst bond. The one who restores life to a dying vessel becomes bound to those they saved. Protector, guide, and honored partner.
Partner.
Plural. I tried to refuse. I argued logic, autonomy, consent. They listened patiently. Then Salith said, "You are free to leave." Relief flooded me. But Vera added, "You will be hunted by our rivals. Those who learn of what you did will seek to take you. You will never be safe among your own kind again." They weren't threatening me. They were warning me. The galaxy had noticed. Within hours of the ship's revival, long-range sensors detected foreign probes. Someone had been watching. Someone wanted what I represented, a human capable of doing what entire alien civilizations could not. I made my choice when the first hostile ship appeared on the scanner. I didn't hesitate. I helped them reroute power to the defensive grid, modified their weapon harmonics on the fly, and coordinated countermeasures using human combat heuristics they had never considered. We didn't destroy the enemy. We outthought them. The attackers fled. Afterward, Salith placed a hand over her heart. "You fought as one of us." Vera smiled, soft, dangerous. "You have chosen." Maybe I had. Life aboard their ship changed. I wasn't a prisoner. I wasn't a servant. I was something new, an anomaly, a bridge between worlds. I taught them human engineering tricks. They taught me their history, their language, their quiet rituals. The galaxy reacted quickly. Rumors spread of a human engineer bonded to Althari twins, of a single human whose presence turned failing systems into miracles.
Some feared me.
Others wanted to control me. The Althari Council demanded answers.
So we went to them.
Before an assembly of ancient beings, Salith and Vera stood beside me, unyielding. "This human is bound," Salith declared, "by law older than this council." "And by choice," Vera added, placing her hand in mine. The council tried to argue tradition. I answered with results. I repaired their failing orbital network in one day, stabilized a dying star relay using nothing but math, instinct, and stubborn refusal to accept limits. Silence followed. At last, the High Arbiter spoke. "Human," they said slowly. "You are inconvenient." I smiled tiredly.
"Yeah.
We get that a lot." They let me stay. Not because of fear. Not because of law, but because humanity, my kind, brought something the galaxy desperately needed.
Change.
Ending. Years later, I stood on the observation deck of a fully restored Althari flagship, watching stars stretch into brilliant lines as we entered slipspace. Salith stood to my left, Vera to my right, no longer watchers, no longer claimants, but partners in every sense that mattered. I was no longer just a repairman. I was a symbol, proof that humanity didn't conquer the galaxy with weapons or numbers, but with creativity, compassion, and the refusal to accept impossible as an answer. I fixed their ship. In return, they gave me a place among the stars.